Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to discuss more about surveillance related to politics, social security issue. In the last episode, we discussed the negative side of surveillance. The government and agency brings to mass population. But rather than negative side, there are some positive side about surveillance according to some academic research. Those are focused on society to gain the security of people's wills and health being. For example, according to the book Surveillance and Democracy, Kevin Haggerty and Minas the power of surveillance is to rest on a continuum of care to control, with watchers have varying degrees of or motives for hospital patients or airline passengers. When someone's life is in danger, reducing the criminal rates, putting fear in people is sometimes seen as diminish the unlawful action people intend to make. Moreover, is to lack the proof of evidence. Analyze criminals' behavior is not only linked to criminal study, but also the study of psychology. Those are organized by non-government institutions. In the last episode, we talked about CCTV cameras. But do you know London is the third most monetized city in the world? London has nearly 630,000 cameras, with average of 67 cameras for every 1,000 people. Democracy isn't about freedom. Democracy is people willing to be spied by the government.
Around 40 members of the European Parliament signing an open letter to French lawmakers saying that the plan creates a surveillance precedent never before seen in Europe. There's a digital rights group in France called the Quadrature du Net. They argue that these systems would technically be handling biometric data, even though the government strongly refutes this and hence open the floodgates to a new sort of techno-police state. I spoke to their spokesperson, Noémie Levin, who told me what her fears are.
Recently, France government passed a bill to introduce police surveillance for 2024 Olympics. This actually marks that there are no privacy in the future. Surveillance has some relationship with transparency. It is often taken when people are unconscious about the process. Transparency encourages people to eliminate non-explicitity and privacy, which can sharply curtail a subject's freedom of action, which limits the ability to do good and bad. Surveillance are achieving through technology. Despite CCTV cameras, even the smart TV might become a tool to collect the privacy information and data. According to something employee, the institution can gain control of the cameras and watch people in anywhere in the world.
What's really eye-opening here is you watch your TV, but with this hack, your TV can watch you. Show us how that works.
So one of the things that we were able to do with the Smart TV platform was actually abuse the browser to the extent that we could actually gain access to the camera that's built into the TV.
Right.
And so what we can prove here is that with a little bit of extra code, we can turn the camera on in your browser.
Wow.
And while this is evident to you right here because we've designed it that way, this is something that we can do invisibly and actually have the camera running behind the web page that you're looking at.
So what this means is I could be sitting here watching TV from my bedroom, and you could be anywhere in the world looking at this image of me watching.
Yep, I could be sitting on a laptop in a cafe in Paris, and as long as I have a network connection, I'd be able to get into your TV and access the camera.
Phones, nevertheless, are easily hacked by the government. As one commenter in the YouTube channel comments, that privacy is a thing in the past. In January, after we talk about the good and bad side about surveillance, did surveillance reduce crime and security in society? Let's talk China as an example. In a society full of surveillance, there are still lots of criminals. In a society where weak groups are abused by the dominant, and there are no ways to solve the unsatisfied and complaints in their heart, they found more weak group to take revenge. Like China, USA has many surveillance, but this haven't stopped immigrants to commit crimes. Social injustice a long time unsolved by the government. For good people, surveillance is a constraint because they have bottom line. But in contrast, bad people initially already has the intention to commit crime. Surveillance technology became so effective at the stage. In a high-trust society, for example Korea, there is no need for lavish surveillance because the social cohesion are very high. It is political, education, and government policy that decide the security and progressing of the society. And that's the content of our today's channel. Thanks for watching. If you like the channel, please don't forget to subscribe and see you next time.